record on this computer. Okay. So now to go over it all again, since I was sharing the wrong screen. Basically, what I was watching for intraday wise was 60 to 65 was always going to be that like short setup area. And then pretty much you could continuously short that down to 50, right? Because 50 was the largest bar the entire day. Nothing else picked up, no matter what. Even, and in that sense of, okay, we draw down, then I do think we go back up to 50, right? If we're up, then I do think we pull back to 50. So as you can tell, back and forth, it kept going all day between that 50, and no matter where we went, we would just pull back towards 50, right? And end of day is like a perfect scenario for it. So going on to the shorts that I took within the short zone was like, it was literally just anytime we drew away from 50, I'm looking at short setups, right? And I'm targeting 50. So like something like this, I would literally have limits set in the middle and then target 50 for a couple points, stops above, right? Over and over again. Same thing right here. Anytime we drew too far from 50, it was the same thing. I would enter here around this area, stops above, and then target 50, right? Whether it's for a couple of points or not, and understanding that it would be for a little bit more. And then the other thing that I was watching out for and how we caught that long back up was due to number one, we drew too far away from 50 again. So 50 is right around this middle area, right? Actually, let me flip this. Yes. So we can get, and then Q. All right. So when we drew down from 50, what did I do? Is this ES? Oh no, okay. Yeah, right here. So this was the short that basically played out, but I trimmed at 50 once again, right? 50 is, where's 50? This line. Why does that not seem right? Okay, let's pull this up then, time frame wise. Okay. So I was shorting 50 or down to 50 pretty much all day. Then when we finally swept this low, I was like, okay, is 50 going to remain there? If 50 remains there, then I'm going to long it back up, right? And the other one that gave me an extra confirmation was NQ had taken out those lows. I mean, ES took out the lows, but NQ didn't, right? As you can tell, this low was made at 7 a.m. This low was made at 7 a.m. NQ did not take out that low at 10:18, but at 10:18, ES took out the low right here, right? So that being said, to me, that shows sign of bullishness, right? And on top of that, 50 is still going. So once again, we long it back up to 50, right? I had entered long here actually initially. Wrong one. Entered long right here when we broke below and I saw this candle pop up. I hit a trim and then moved stops to break even, right? I was only targeting a couple of points because even if we went up higher, I only needed a couple more points to hit max profit on some of my evals. So that's all I was really going for. Then the rest got stopped at break even. Next one was another stab at 50 to long 50 again, right? Why? Similar situation in the sense of these are both 2 minutes, right? Okay. So once again, similar situation, still targeting 50. Why? Because it's the largest on GEX. Next thing was NQ had this low, right, from earlier at 10:18. Same thing right here, 10:18. But this time around, ES took out the same low, NQ didn't. Once again, still bullish, right? That's a sign of bullishness to me. So I do have an opportunity, and I do think that this would be the reversal point. So I stabbed shorts and then or stabbed longs at 51.99.25, stops at low day, right? That was pretty much it. Yeah, sorry. To clarify, when I mean 50, I mean 5150 SPX. Is it only Gex strength at 50 that you had targeting or any other? Mostly Gex on that one. The only reason I say that is because I'd been watching the aggregate for OPEX pretty much all of this week, right? From the moment I sent that outlook on Sunday till when I sent that outlook this morning, 50 was still the most evident level, right? And pretty much no matter what direction we went from 50, I was always looking for longs back, right? In case, not in case, but if I go back to, let me pull up Discord. Let me pull up the old screenshots. All right, let's go into it. We'll make this large one. Okay. So at 10:34 or 10:30, right? That's when we were at the absolute bottom. And I can almost guarantee you, because I remember looking at it, 50 was still there. Look at this. 1030 at the bottom. Yeah, it looks like on net that it was kind of picking up to the downside, but if you look at this, there isn't much in comparison. 5100 to 5150 is literally not even close to being considered comparable in my opinion. And on top of that, you saw the screenshot where I was talking about let me find it again. Copy image, this one, right? Where I said I don't doubt we get some sort of potential V back up in the day. Why? Because we're in a negative environment. So to me, on top of seeing how big 50 is, no matter what, right? And we talk about this in multiple classes where it's like negative exposure acts like what, guys? Very, very basic stuff. But answer this question for me. What does negative exposure act like? We've gone through this so many times. I expect everybody to know. I expect everybody to know this answer because I've said it multiple, multiple times. Yes. Negative exposure acts like an accelerant, right? So that's why you get those V-shaped recoveries, right? Those are like one of the best plays to take, especially when you see like some of these lows get taken out on one indice and NQ doesn't take out that low, right? Then you have a pretty good idea where the bottom's going to be. It fucking accelerated right through all this negative environment, right? Straight back up to where? Gex flip is 55, 60, 65. I'm assuming we probably popped up to 50. Yeah, right around 55. So like right before this kind of drop off, right? 50, 55, and we have like 0 gex practically here. So that was kind of the telltale sign of seeing how to catch that bottom. Even if you were here, you could have scalped, right? And understanding that we're just chopping. If we're just chopping, and this is like one of the easiest things, I use what's called a regression trend. And this was taught to me by one of my like oldest trading friends. For those who know him, his name is D Sharp or Dad. Or nickname Dad. He showed me this thing. It's literally just like if you know you're in a trading range, like this is the easiest thing. You're just short up here and then target down here, right? So I was looking to go short pretty much every single time we got up to here. On top of that with fibs, right? And you know that 50 is the target all day freaking long, right? So it just like different tools for different purposes. But with that being said, like that's just one of the many tools that we use on top of like utilizing entries for targets or entries with different tools to find your target with Gex, right? That's just how I've always used it. Occasionally you can short, like I made the mistake this morning too, right? I actually longed 5170 on Gex this morning. And I'll show you guys why. And this was my mistake for today. So I longed 5170. Let's go over why I was wrong. So I longed it on this retest at 644. So occasionally, right, we talk about many situations where it's like you're here to take the probability, right? Yes, TOS has the regression trend. It's called regression channel. You just right click on TOS, it'll pop up like on your drawings. But this is how I got faked out. I thought this wall at 70, right? 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. I thought this 70 wall would hold. And then 5200 was massive, right? On top of that wall, 5170 was the Gex flip. So that's why I decided I want to take stab at longs there. At first, it worked out. I actually entered really early on in the day and I caught this push up and then I put stops below. I caught this one right here. Long position. I caught this one right here. I caught the second move up and then I moved my stops to break even just in case because I was targeting. I would have loved to got a lot higher or more points targeting 5200. But guess what? Sometimes shit doesn't work out. Shit doesn't work out, right? What can you do? And there's obviously we're in the week of strength for Vana and Charm, so just basing it purely off Gex was also a fault of my own. But luckily we moved stops to break even. So nothing to be super upset about. And like I'm pretty upset that I missed this short. Under the Gex flip should have been like short down to Middle Earth, right? So tomorrow, are you expecting more of the same? Yeah, I'm expecting more of the same fucking garbage on at 5150, right? If you look at tomorrow's data, it's all the same. 5150, maybe a potential to 5100, but that's pretty fucking far down, right? And as you can tell, like 50 is negative. We just went back and forth between it. So tomorrow is going to be like, I think in my head, tomorrow is likely going to be a risk off day for me. I've gotten fucked one too many times on OPEX with a bunch of bullshit. I noticed a difference between total gamma, billion one per 1% for raw, delta adjusted, and split. I pay attention to raw. Like the most I pay attention to is raw. I'll occasionally, if de-adjusted and raw line up like today with 50, then I'm pretty much like full confidence that we go back up. If we hit 5100 full port to 5150, let's not. Remember, I just said that tomorrow's a risk off day, right? So take that into consideration. Someone with my experience is considering it a risk off day, then you probably want to consider it a risk off day as well. I followed speed at the end of the day, was my best day on SPX. Yeah, I mean, speed, as Fatty said, this is speed week. And I sent you guys that video from YouTube that he made for Traderlink back then. He talks about that in that video. I can pull that up for you guys, videos. And then introduction of speed, copy link address. Here, for those who want to pay attention or want to learn more about it, Fatty has a great explanation of how to utilize speed. So check that video out. But yeah, that's not really much. Red line is VWAP. Yeah, red line is VWAP. And the purple line is the 9 EMA. Why I still have it on there, I can't tell you, but sometimes you just want to hold on to old your roots, you know? I'm a I'm a 9 EMA enjoyer, but I'm not going to talk about it. Must be aware that tomorrow is also triple witching. Lots of large participants suddenly take huge positions suddenly out of ES, which leads to sudden moves without warning. Either direction takes smaller profits. Yeah, completely agree. Where's the regression on TradingView? It is under this one. The first one under your crosshair. It is regression trend. And even if you were to draw it from like here to here, or like when we were here, it's not the greatest, but you kind of pick and choose where you want it to be. But yeah, I suggest tomorrow be a risk off day. You can have big fucking random moves. So it's just very unpredictable. Risk off, light day. You can make a lot with a risk off day on a fucking crazy ass OPEX day. But yeah, what indicator on TradingView? It is called SPY SPX ES price PT. Can I share this? No. This is what it's called. I've been an account last triple witching. Crazy day. Yeah, it's a wild fucking day. I always suggest sizing down. And like I'll be honest, the PA has been mid as fuck the past few days. Absolutely mid. Like if you miss this, then like sucks, man. Because I missed that one, that run up. So I was too busy shitting my brains out. So missed this move too, same thing. So like I got stuck trading all this garbage PA, but it is what it is. Do I want to run a class tomorrow? Probably not. It is Friday. I don't think anyone's gonna want to come to a class on a Friday. So we'll have a live anyway. So but yeah. Any more questions? I wish I had a footprint like replay. Maybe if I do an hour. Red, white, and green. I don't know. I just like it as like, okay, here's my thought process when I did red, white, and green. Green is that's an area to take a trade. Red is don't fucking touch it. So, and white is boring. Green is like, okay, this is a good opportunity. So, you know, you change your candle colors to different colors so you don't feel emotions, blah, 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 some psychological bullshit. I just changed this in that sense of like, okay, this is where you want to take a trade. This is where you want to take a trade pretty much every time. Is there a way to XEXfer over the AOI and price magnet from Traderlink to TradingView, Tradedix, I know shares? No, as of right now, we do not have that. We're trying to. At one point, we were gonna get TradingView on our platform, like on the dashboard itself. Then they quoted us a really fat number. We're like, Jesus Christ. And we don't have enough users to kind of support spending that kind of money on that as of now. Yeah, trust me, we don't have enough users yet. When we do, I promise you we'll get it, but it's just really expensive for like it would pretty much put us underwater at a certain point. So that's not worth it. Yeah, we are working on net call premium, whether it's bullish and buy or bullish or bearish. Gio has been sneak peeking that. I think even on our Twitter we sneak peek that. Um, uh, see this. So we are doing this. I promise we're getting there. It just takes some time and it's going through testing. So once that goes through our version of testing, then it might be worth it to put it into what's it called? The dashboard. Will you have a class to go over market structure as a refresher? Yeah, I don't mind doing. I mean, we can do it right now. Like, um, this one was a little bit tricky. You guys rock. The value you provide is amazing. I've been training for years. And this, dude, thank you. But you don't understand how much that actually means to, like me and Geo. Can we go over charm? I don't really use charm, so I don't want to give like that whole spiel about charm, especially if I myself don't utilize it. Right? The biggest thing is like teaching stuff that I use and teaching it properly. Yeah, I can share my okay guys one. It's just this. I have everything checked off except volume profile. I have it set to 700, but it should be 1,000. And then rows is 250. Value area percentage is going to be 68%. Horizontal offset should be 10. I like it a little bit further to the side. Sorry, let me click OK. There you go. That's pretty much all I have. Dude, honestly, it's crazy to see like how long people have been trading and never really gotten into the quant, I guess the quant space of it. Will the subscription going remain the same? Yeah, the subscription will likely like 95% stay at $100 a month. We have no reason to change it. So like it's already expensive, but like even then we don't really like we don't even make any money. So hate to fucking break my own glass there on that one. See, this market structure is tricky today. Swing high, swing low, swing high, right? We're just making lower lows within this trend. And then we finally make a lower low from this, but even then we pop right back up and then break this high still. And then go down again and then make another lower low and then come up again, break the higher high. So this market structure today was really tricky. Honestly, like that's the best part about I think it's that's why I think Traderlink is, obviously biased because I'm a co-founder, but I think it's after you get the data and you take the time to learn it, you don't need anything else. You end up starting to fade the people who are like that you follow on Discord, right? And I always say at the end of the day, I think your own personal analysis is always going to be better than somebody else's, especially if you take the time to learn it. Like who cares what your quote unquote mentor was doing? Really was the low day. I didn't even realize that, but this is what I see right here. Maybe Geo had another reason to go long here, but this was pretty free. And we're in a negative environment, so you could easily just assume that we'd probably get some sort of V-shaped recovery. I mean, our 1 year is October. I think we launched last October. We've always wanted to do a fucking launch party, but we've never had enough money coming from Traderlink to fucking send a launch party. It is what it is. Big shout out to all the work and sharing you. Thank you very much, man. I mean, I think we're headed lower personally. there's a lot of like, let's see. Let's see what happens when we take next week's data. I mean, they're slightly showing signs of like lower. So still definitely 5,200 is here. 5,150, of course. 5,100 is also pretty big. So I don't doubt that we get some sort of move to the downside tomorrow, personally. I think we'll end up opening in a negative exposure environment and then you get a chance. Bro, honestly, so glad that people like it. Launch party BYOB and potluck. Imagine, like, by the way, fucking BYOB and we'll have it at the fucking office. Like, no, I think everyone wants to do some sort of like venue and stuff like the inflation data has been coming in hot recently. Rate cuts getting, yeah, that's also true. Negative exposure usually means to downside. Yes. However, in a negative exposure, you're prone to that V-shaped recovery I always talk about. Do you use raw gamma? Do you use skew on raw? I'll be honest, I don't even use skew. I mostly stick to de-adjusted and raw, but most of the time I stick to raw, and the de-adjusted just gives me extra confirmation that like let's say this de-adjusted lines up, like net de-adjusted lines up with the divergence happening here, then I will likely have full confidence that we go back up to that level. As of right now, we don't have an annual sub option. We sent it out like to some people because they left. And then even then, like we only sent it out to like 30 people. So YouTube EDU on footprint, I think. I think I made a video. This one. Yeah, it's on our YouTube, but I'll just send the link right here. That's footprint. That's just what like I watch out for. People use footprint charts very differently. I've tried seeing YouTube videos of like how people use footprint chart on a normal on like normally. I couldn't find anything. Like it's such a convoluted thing again. So I'm on my first week. Could give me a simple strategy. Um, there's a couple things, right? Long slash short, dex flips, long slash short, positive dex. Um, that's really it. Like that's like the simplest thing. Will Geo do another math class? You're gonna have to convince him to simple follow the massive X bars. Oh yeah, you could follow massive X bar. Like it's super simple. Like literally as like if you want the dumbest way to do it, find your own entry. Like have your own entry strategy and then fucking target the big X bar. Like that's a simple way to use it, and you can do that. So other one I guess that I like a lot is watch for split divergences. What are split divergences? Split divergences are like this. If it loads. Split divergence is like this. We'll get a drawing up. Let's say you have this, and then you have a big green. Hold on. Let's draw it out again. Split, green. All right, you have a big bar here. Go to red. You have a big bar like this, right? So that's what it looks like then. And then you have on, and then pretend it looks like that. Like this is net, and then this is split. So when you have a big bar like this and it looks like this on net, that's a split divergence. So those are like one of my favorite things to trade because you'll end up like magnetizing or going towards back to the split level where dealers are mostly positioned, because on net you won't see that, right? If they're not positioned, if it looks like they're not positioned here on net, but split shows that, then they're obviously positioned there. Yeah, using like the massive split bars are huge. Using like the main Gex bar on net is it's a game changer. Like that in and of itself is already a massive strategy. I've been keeping track of how often we hit like the AOI within the first hour just to see if there's any relevance to that. It's not hasn't been a massive hit rate, so did I already do the overlook? Bullshit at for tomorrow. It's bullshit around 5150. Someone said honey drip trading. I wasn't that garbage too. You guys provide so much. Thank you, man. I'm not here to trash on other Discord groups, but I will say like once you utilize the data and you learn the data, you don't need any of the other trading groups out there. Keep it a buck. Yeah. The AOI was at 5150 all day yesterday. Then we had this fucking massive sell off, right? Which was funny as fuck, right? All day it had been fucking trending, doing some bullshit. Then the last fucking 30 minutes of the day goes down to 5150. Like it's there. It's just do you have the fucking galls to hold it? Is raw or delta adjusted mostly for it's I use raw. Would you guys be able to do more trade reviews in the future so we can see more applications real time, even though it's done after the fact, since data can change and whatnot? It's hard to react in the moment. Yeah, I mean, like if you see those live trades, I've been doing like slight call outs on live, but it's like within your own risk. I just don't like number one, I don't want to lose in front of people, right? That changes the mentality. Like losing by myself is fine, but when you lose in front of like 100 people, it changes like your emotional or your emotions. So that's why I don't really like doing call outs on live. But it's you'll see me stabbing long, stabbing shorts. What about the 0.2 delta, 0.8 delta range? Does that mean you usually start trading in the money? No, no. So when it comes to 0.2 delta, that has to do with Vana. So basically, if you have a level at 5100, let's say you have a Vana level at 5100, right? Right here. And then you come down to right about here, 5110, and that delta hits like 0.2. If that delta hits 0.2, then you can look to volatility, see if it's dropping or increasing. And at that rate, you can kind of get a gauge of whether or not market is going to bottom out or dealers are going to start buying. How were you reading Vana today since it's OPEC? I haven't been paying attention to Vana. 5100 is massive, but it's also really far. So if we come down, right, going into tomorrow, if you're watching Vana, if we come down to like that 5115 area, watch the 5100 put delta, see if that put delta hits minus 0.2. If it hits minus 0.2, then watch for volatility. If you get a drop in vol versus an increase in vol, like we have the cheat sheet in Discord, so just take a look at that. Vana flip is at 5150, so that is also something to take into account. If you're looking for lower, you want Vana flip to decrease with the move down, like start moving down resistance. Kind of. It'll be like support and resistance, right? So you want this Vana flip to kind of go down if you're targeting downside, right? If you see SPX start moving down, you want to see that Vana flip go down as well. I don't watch Lambda. This is all I have on my chart. Unusual options, footprint, delta, speed, DDOI, charm, Vana, gamma. Yeah, dude. I really after that, I even that gap fill, I started taking longs back up because 5200 was still showing. So like I took two stabs at longs. One was stopped out at break even, the other one was a loss. That was the other loss that I took when we hit that gap fill. Be cool to see 0.2 delta bar highlighted. Yeah, well, we've been working on like there's a bunch of see once again, we don't have enough devs to run multiple projects, so it always works. It goes one by one. What do you do when there's two big Vana bars contradicting one another according to the cheat sheet? Yeah, you basically have a pinning effect in between them. Does Vana flip work even during the window of weakness? I don't pay attention. Like when it's window of weakness, I don't even bother looking at it. Do you use unusual options a lot? I notice you don't really touch it during the stream. Not often. It's just pretty much like I just have it there because it's one of our main tools, and like occasionally I just want to see like how many calls are loaded up and how many puts are loaded up. But now that we have like net premium, that's also changing, so I wouldn't even have to use that to kind of look at this anymore. I'm not an unusual options trader personally, not my style. I don't like trading single name stocks, so that's another part of the reason. Yeah. All right, hit me with more questions, guys. If you don't have any more, I will end the stream. It's already been half an hour, but continue it a little for another 5 to 10 minutes. Keep in mind, guys, I will not be here the next 2 weeks after this week is over. No streams. Maybe you can convince Gio to get a stream going, but I personally will be out of here. What am I most looking forward to on my vacation? The food. Man, I love Italian food. I'm going to my flight is Monday at 8 p.m. Um, and then I'm also going before at like 11:45. I'm doing a guest lecture at USC. But yeah. So I go from USC to the airport, which will be fun. I'm very excited to talk at USC. Where did you guys learn all besides the books you guys have mentioned? Ordered them so I can get. I learned from Gio. I was lucky enough when we were fucking like we're best friends, right? So he taught me everything. How can we interpret Vega? I see volume guys refer to dealer Vega all the time. I don't know enough about Vega to answer that. Forgot to ask Gio. He mentioned rubber band earlier when we sold off. Do you know what he saw? Um, I don't know exactly what he saw, but the rubber band effect for me is like you pull this way and then you pull back. It could be charm, but for me, this is the same thing, right? Very directional moves, right? Anytime we got below or away from 5150 in a negative environment, we accelerated all through that negative exposure back up, right? Same situation here. What are you looking to act as a magnet when there are two massive split divergences? I will fuck off if there's two giant massive split divergences. Fuck that. That's just not a good setup. Maybe wait for one of them to die off and then take a trade. That's really about it. If total gamma is negative, but Vaughn is net positive, when do you read that divergence? I don't use it the same way as Geo. I know what you're talking about. Geo will base it off the amounts. And I don't do that. I strictly just trade the data for the relative information, right? If it's all in coordination to being relative, right? Like if one's bigger than the other, or which one's bigger, I don't really focus on the the net exposure amount, if that makes sense. What is the likelihood of the largest exposure bar on speed getting tapped tomorrow for OPEX? What is that? 5,000? Wait, no, fuck, wrong one. 5,000? Okay. Wait, that's still the same one. Um, Dude, you're like asking me like, do I full port for puts? Like that sounds like what you're asking me. I wouldn't lean too much on tapping like, dude, 100-point sell off, bro. We get 100-point sell off. That's pretty fucking wild, man. The chart is going to change 3 times tomorrow. I don't doubt it. It's going to change a lot tomorrow. So just that's why I say size light going into tomorrow and be smart about it, right? I think that's like the most important thing. I think I mean, all day we basically shorted. Like, if you're in shorts, just be wary of like that acceleration back up, right? Yeah, you can make a lot of money if you decide to hold, but just keep that in mind. Like, no one ever went broke taking profit. I played 5150 all week. And yeah, 5150. We've talked about it in every single class. Like, so hopefully, me reiterating that number to you over and over again, like, kind of stuck in your head. Like 5150 is the fucking main level, man. Like hopefully that's what you were thinking. Don't underestimate the impact of triple witching. Huge players need to switch from current. Yeah, so that's my biggest. The volatility tomorrow is gonna be off the fucking roof. And on top of that, I saw this too. This is another thing that I was watching. Like we tapped into that level too. So for longs. Any more questions? Give another minute or two for some people who are typing. If there's no more, we can end off the class. Then we'll have our last live stream tomorrow morning. last live stream of the quarter, at least. Sad. I know, I know, I know. You guys will miss me. I'd miss me too. How did you pass your eval so quickly? I fucking full port the eval. Like, hate to fucking like charging $150 for like a 150K count. I don't mind fucking paying that over and over again. So I just pass them. Like today, I have I had this one. I got like a bunch of 50K counts for $4.50. So I just ran them today and they hit max profit in 2 days or in just today. And I was only sizing one lot on every single trade. That's what I mean. Like I was shorting all these for like one lot, like $200-300. But yeah. Morbid, do you save this class? Yes, I did save this class. Daily recaps are awesome. No problem, guys. Thank you, thank you. I'm excited. I'm excited to not have to fucking do absolutely anything. Do you full port during eval, then get more conservative? Yeah. Yeah, because there's a big difference, right? I know I'm a profitable trader, right? So I know what I need to do when I get an actual live account. So then that's pretty much what I do. So I'm basically just storing all these. And I found out like you can run like 3 Top Step X accounts and 3 Tradeovate accounts. So you can have 6 XFAs or Express accounts and basically like override that 3 account rule. Do you still do it? I haven't traded options in a while. I've come to the point where I'm like, I don't want to risk anything. So I've just been doing these. Like I'll risk a couple $1,000 buying a bunch of accounts and then have them pay me out. Right? You have like very little risk with doing these, but so take it for what it is. But yeah. Why do you run so many accounts? Because you can. So I learned from this guy named Lanto, and my dog is back there. Dean, come here. Dean, come here. One of these guys basically runs like 20 accounts on Top Step, but even then he just uses them as reserves. So if he blows a funded account, then he just loads up the next one. So that's what I've been doing. Yeah, like a fail safe. Like if I blow a funded account, then I'll just open a new one. If I blow another one, then I just open another one. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the live here. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully this week's lives have helped you in these classes. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated as always. Um, and as always, keep moving forward. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys on live tomorrow. Everyone have a great rest of your guys' night.